This is the Regain Wellness Podcast with Jamie Logie, episode 15, 10 high energy foods to start your day with. Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 15, and today we're looking at a bunch of great food choices you can make to have first thing in the morning that'll help with energy and can be there as new alternatives for breakfast foods if you've been struggling with things like that, and just some ideal nutrient dense choices that are good all the time, but especially first thing in the morning to get you going. So my name is Jamie Logie. I want to thank you for listening today. I said in the last episode, I know there's a ton of podcasts out there, so if you are listening to this one, I really appreciate it. And thank you for spending the time with me. If it's your first time listening, first Happy New Year. We're a few episodes in so far in this new year. But again, if it's your first time, I run a website called regainwellness.com, same as the show title. And you can head over there and see everything I'm doing as far as primarily nutrition-based information, articles, blogs, podcasts. But there's, some fitness stuff in there. I am a personal trainer, also a certified nutrition and wellness specialist, and have more of an interest in nutrition these days, as I find the changes you make in your diet and your nutrition have massive health implications. And as fitness is important, but the changes you can make in your diet can overhaul your entire overall health. And this episode, like I said, is focused on all the best nutrition choices I think you can make first thing for breakfast. But over at the website, if it is your first time visiting here and you're new to getting healthy and well, you can sign up for the email newsletter, which will provide more information on everything I have going on. But also, more importantly, when you do sign up, I send off the free ebook I made called the Healthy Eating Starter Kit. And it's got a lot of good info in there as far as foods you want to avoid and why, foods you want to include and why. It's got some recipes in there, and you can get that just by going to regainwellness.com/guide, sign up there, and that gets sent off to you right away. I'm also just finishing up an ebook I mentioned a few shows ago, and it is pretty much done. It's called Taking Back Your Health, and it's going to be focused on all the different topics that I think I find relevant that most people bring up in discussion as far as the gluten issue or paleo or artificial sweeteners or sugar. It's going to include everything you can think of and in-depth analysis into why you want to avoid these things, what are better substitutions. So that'll be coming very soon. So keep your eyes out. I'll have that up on the website, or I'll mention again on the show when it gets good to go. So we'll jump into it here with the different, what I'd say top 10 food choices are for getting you going first thing in the morning. Some people, I don't know, you might not be the up and at 'em type in the morning. Your mornings might drag on longer than any of the Lord of the Rings movies or the Hobbit movies. Sorry. And the first choice for a lot of people might be just grabbing a cup of coffee, might be donuts or something through a drive-through. You might grab pastries. I don't know. You might be stuck with getting your morning kicked off on the right note with top energy, nutrient dense food choices. So I've got 10 here I think will get you going early in the morning and help give you a jump start to your health for the day. So first thing's going to be water, which obviously isn't a food, but it's the most important macronutrient. We need water. We are water. Over 2/3 of our body is made up of water, and it's crucial for the balance of all our body fluids. And among other things, these fluids are required for digestion, absorption, circulation, transport of nutrients. It balances your body temperature. Basically, after you've been sleeping, hopefully you're getting a good amount of sleep. That's of utmost importance too, and something we'll cover again. But, ideally, say 6 to 8 hours, you haven't had any water. It's a good thing to drink it first thing in the day, and it'll help with hydration, obviously, but also to help in cleansing and detoxifying first thing in the morning, which is exactly when you want to start this whole process. So before you have your breakfast or your tea or your coffee or whatever, start with a large glass or two of ideally room temperature, kind of lukewarm, not freezing cold water. And you want to make sure you don't chug it, but sip it slowly. So the second food now that you can have first thing in the morning to get you going would be lemons. So while you're already at it with the water, you want to try and add in some fresh squeezed lemon into it. So lemons are great for helping with cleansing, especially of the liver, aids in digestion, and they're also a very good source of vitamin C, which surprises a lot of people. Calcium, it's high in magnesium, high in potassium. You want to try a half lemon and squeeze that into your that warm-ish water. First thing, to give it a real mineral boost and a real antioxidant charge. Second food that you can start the day off would be ginger. And since you're already getting some of that cleansing lemon now in the water, you can add some ginger into that too to really help bump up your energy and also bump up that cleansing and detoxifying process in that morning drink. Most people are aware of the anti-nausea effect of ginger, and I don't know, maybe had as a kid like I did. My mom would, whenever you're feeling sick or had an upset stomach, you'd do the ginger ale, and my mom would stir the bubbles out of it to help not further upset the stomach. So ginger obviously does help with that. Problem with any form of ginger ales or sodas or whatever, they're usually going to contain such a minimal amount of ginger, or won't contain ginger at all, and it'll contain like a synthetic kind of ginger flavoring. I think the only one that had actual ginger was either Canada Dry or Schweppes. One of those had actual ginger. I don't know how much would be actual as far as from a pure natural source, but in either case, it wasn't containing a valuable amount of ginger to really be effective. So you're better off sticking with the natural whole food form of ginger. So besides that anti-nausea effect, it's also going to help with some other amazing conditions as far as they can help ease muscle pain. Ginger can help with improved circulation. It can help eliminate inflammation. It can help with reducing migraine pain for people who suffer from that or really bad headaches. Can act as an antihistamine and even a decongestant, and has been known to boost the immune system. So people have been using ginger for a good 4,000 plus years. There's a lot of research going back showing earlier societies that would use ginger primarily for the medicinal uses. So the best way to incorporate it into that lemon water we're talking about first thing, take a thumb-sized piece, you can peel that, and then grate the ginger, with a cheese grater, something into, it's shredded up. Take all that up together, and you can squeeze the juice out of that into the water for that give it that real zest, and as well that high nourishing value, to turn that lemon water into a real natural detoxifying, cleansing boost to start the day off. Fourth thing, for your top food choices in the morning, going to be blueberries. So possibly the king of all fruits when you look at these things. So the small berry provides great amounts of fiber and antioxidants and phytonutrients, and people are becoming more aware of these, the antioxidants and the phytonutrients as far as their abilities to fight disease and to fight DNA damage from free radicals and premature aging, all that sort of thing. And blueberries are usually at the top of the list of the high level of phytonutrients. And, they, like I said, besides preventing disease, they're very good at just keeping the body running normally, and a great first thing in the day food, because again, it's got a lot of that high level nutrition through high vitamin C and, the cancer fighting properties. They've been shown to improve heart health, and they can even boost brain function and cognitive health. And I'll link some more of these studies here on the show notes, which is regainwellness.com/015. So I'll link all the different resources we're talking about today there. Fifth thing for your top food choice in the morning, going to be chia seeds. So the old chia pet from the horrific 80s commercials has made quite a bit of a comeback, but have been around for quite a while and have been used for thousands and thousands of years, primarily by the Aztecs and the Mayans. And if you haven't seen chia seeds before, very small, dark, and kind of a dense seed that when put in contact with water secretes a gel-like substance around it, like a jelly-like consistency that surrounds the seed. And this is what soluble fiber does. So when it mixes with water, it secretes this like gel-like substance, which is very important to help in binding up toxins to help eliminate from the body. So that's why chia seeds are very good detoxifying food. Along with that, they contain a high amount of omega-3s, and they can help balance blood sugar because of that high fiber content, and are a complete protein and can help with, sustainable energy through the day. They're also loaded with iron, calcium, magnesium, zinc, quite a power punch food here in this tiny, tiny little seed. Number 6 on the list of top food choices is going to be bananas. And kind of another breakfast classic, a breakfast staple, portable, consistent, always a top choice for energy. Bananas are technically, they don't grow on trees. They're technically giant herbs, and they've been quite hybridized and changed over the centuries to eliminate a lot of the undesirable traits. Original bananas you probably wouldn't even recognize today that existed way, way back. As they were smaller, they would have been kind of different color. They would have been so full of seeds you'd probably find them inedible. So we have, like I said, hybridized out those traits we didn't want and incorporated ones that are more beneficial. So they're bigger, they're brighter, they're sweeter, they're less full of seeds, but still one of the top energy and nutrition sources out there. So bananas have been found to help in, surprisingly, provide relief from heartburn and acid reflux. So if you do suffer from those things, try banana. You might find that helps with those symptoms. They're, again, high in antioxidants, like the blueberries are high in potassium. They can actually act as a prebiotic to grow healthy bacteria in the gut. They can help lower blood pressure, and they can also help in mood boosting because it contains the amino acid tryptophan. Most people are aware of tryptophan from turkey and stuff like that, and they kind of associate it with making you tired, but it is related to mood boosting as it is a potent amino acid. Number 7 on our list here for top nutrition choices first thing in the morning going to be almonds, another real powerhouse food. They're loaded with protein and vitamin E, copper, magnesium, fiber again. And besides providing energy and being a great healthy snack, very portable, one of their big draws is the ability to help lower cholesterol, as well as reducing the risks of cancer and heart disease. And a lot of people are now getting on board with things like almond flour, almond milk as a great source of calcium. If for those people wanting to not have dairy or have lactose intolerance problems, interestingly, a 3/4 cup of almonds has as much calcium as an 8-ounce cup of either low-fat, skim, or whole milk. And they're great raw, like I said, great as, in almond milk, great as almond butter. And some people do have a bit of a problem with digestion of some nuts and seeds, and also a lot of other nutritionists will say that the enzymes that help in the digestion need to be activated by soaking them to get the full benefit and absorption of these nuts, or else it might be a little hard on our gut to process them naturally. So it's not going to hurt if you're going to soak things like almonds or other nuts or seeds overnight, ideally up to even 12 hours, to really help in the digestion process. Number 8 on our list here for your top food choices in the morning going to be eggs. So, the classic breakfast food. When I'm talking eggs here, they get quite a bad rap all the time. When I'm referring to eggs, I'm talking ideally about farm fresh, free range, organic, non-hormone treated chickens that are able to live how they're meant to, eat what they're supposed to eat, be active. This is the stuff I'm talking about, as opposed to caged confinement lot supermarket eggs. And if you've ever seen a real organic free range egg compared to a grocery store counterpart, you can definitely tell the difference. I get eggs from a farm nearby here, so I know I can see the chickens, so I know what I'm getting. When you compare the yolk of that, I'll open that up, take that compared to say a store-bought grocery store version egg, and the yolk color and density is night and day difference compared to that grocery store one. It's such a rich, deep yellow compared to the grocery store one, which is a very bland, pale, kind of anemic looking egg. And you can almost just see the vibrancy and the difference between these two different eggs. So when I'm talking eggs, these are the ideal choices. They are one of your best sources, almost a perfect source of protein, these eggs. They're high in vitamin B2, they're high in B12, they're high in vitamin A, D, and E, they're high in calcium and iron. That's found in the yolks. There's always been the worry of the cholesterol issue with the content in eggs, but there's a lot of studies now pointing to the fact they don't necessarily cause a higher serum cholesterol in the body. And there's a lot of studies, like again, I'll link all this different stuff up on the show notes, that they've looked at people consuming 20, 30 eggs a day over the course of a month with no changes to their cholesterol. I'd say ideally you want to keep the source of the egg as pure and as natural as possible to get all these health benefits from them. Number 9 on the list of top food items first thing in the morning is going to be oatmeal. So another long-standing breakfast classic here, and for a pretty good reason, because oats are such a great source of very high levels of soluble fiber, protein as well. I'm not sure where you stand on the grain issue. I personally like to avoid grains, breads, wheats. If you're going to go for a grain, I'd say oatmeal is probably going to be your best choice because of those health benefits you do get from it. It's the fact that it can help lower cholesterol, can help lower blood sugar. I would say it's your top choice of all the grains. If you do have gluten sensitivities or celiac disease, you might want to be careful as well, just because a lot of the places that manufacture oats are also processing flours and wheats. And in almost all cases, the oats you get from these plants or manufacturing areas always seem to contain traces of wheat. So if you do have that issue, you probably want to avoid those ones. Make sure you find organic oats that are completely gluten-free, just to be on the safe side. So the 10th thing is not an actual food. It's a combination of all these foods into a recipe here that is easy to make, incorporates a few of these different things, is a great go-to. It's ready for you first thing in the morning. I'll put the recipe up again in the show notes, regainedwellness.com/015, but I'll run it off here. I hope if you can commit to memory. It's actually very simple, very easy to incorporate. So you're going to take in a bowl 1 banana, mash that up. You're going to add in 4 tablespoons of chia seeds. Then you're going to take 1 cup of almond milk and whisk that in. You're going to add in a half teaspoon of pure vanilla extract if you can find it, and a couple pinches of cinnamon. And pretty much that's it. You're going to put that in the fridge overnight to thicken, so you can cover that with saran wrap or whatnot. In the morning, you can add in more chia seeds if you think it needs to be a little thicker, or you can add in some more almond milk if you think it needs to be a little thinner if it's too thick, so you can adjust the consistency very easy. After that, you're just going to top it with some blueberries and raw almonds, and ideally you've maybe even had those almonds soaking overnight, and you're good to go. You've just got this power-packed, nutrient-dense, energy-enhancing, vitamin-enriched food that is high in good protein, soluble fiber, omega-3s, high amounts of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, a almost perfect little concoction to start your day with. That's the basic recipe. I mean, you can adjust things as you like. You might like a little more almond milk, a little less. I mean, it's perfectly customizable to whatever you like, but you've got a great core of nutrition there to start the day with. And like I said, if you're busy first thing in the morning, this thing is done the night before and you're ready to go. So there's really, like with some of these great quick little recipe things, it takes the guesswork and kind of excuses out of, I didn't have time in the morning and I had to go to Tim Hortons. And that's if you're in Canada. If you don't know what Tim Hortons is, it's our big donut shop here. Okay, Dunkin' Donuts if you're American. Now you know what I'm talking about. So it'll help you avoid making those bad on-the-go nutrition decisions. So that's everything for today. I want to thank you for listening. If you had any questions about nutrition, if you had any different topics you want to see covered, you can head to regainwellness.com, leave comments on the articles after the podcast. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast already, I'd appreciate it if you did. And if you are able to leave a review and rating on iTunes, it really helps the show get bumped up and spread. So I appreciate it a lot. And you can also check me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/regainwellness. Twitter, if you want to tweet, I check that all the time. The handle is @regain wellness. So REGAIN wellness. And Twitter doesn't let you use too many characters for your name, so to drop off the ED there. If you want to email as well, like I said, with different questions, if you are struggling with things, if you want to see different topics covered or whatnot, the email address is info@regainedwellness.com. So check me back soon. I'll keep you up to date with more goings on at regainedwellness.com and more information on the book if you're interested in that, which will be called Taking Back Your Health. So I really appreciate you listening today, and I encourage you to get on some of these foods for first thing in the morning. Try the recipe out, see how you like it. And when we're talking about your health and making strides and making improvements, remember the key thing to remember all the time is progress, not perfection. See you next time.